Yeah. All right. Let's do this. Top right side. Grand Finals of NationWars 7. The Red Terran player. He's been monstrous in this tournament. He's been a big part of why they've made it so far. He has delivered, and he has done it in all sorts of games. Can he do it here in some TVZ to get them off to a fantastic start? This is Spirit. And in the bottom left, from Team Peace, our blue Zerg player. From Good Game Gaming, this is Rattata. Who do you think wins, Wardy? Oh, I think Poland should win, but it is close. I think Poland are slightly favored in each matchup. All 50-50, or at least in more of the matchups, I think they're favored I think they're favored in more matchups than they're not, but it's like 60-40 and stuff, right? So it's like overall it might be like 55-45 to Poland, but like you know, the results can swing so heavily when it's just like a set of best of ones essentially, right? Yo, Focals Benjamin, thank you so much for the 23-month resub, and let's get it started then, guys. The ZVT is underway for the Grand Finals. Let me find our odds, and let's see what happens here on Glittering Ashes. Big map. Obviously, you kind of send Spirit out knowing it's a big map. I think that's part of the plan. I don't think Elazer wants to play these big maps. I think that was definitely part of the team plan, because it's been like that in the semi-finals as well. And you do get a little bit of control over who plays which map, so definitely seems like that is part of the plan. This is just going to be getting set up here. A couple of gases coming through on the back of a CC first into barracks opening. So big map, and already you can see that Spirit chooses to be a little bit greedy here early on. Now, on a map this large, usually Zerg have a good time, but Rattata is one of those Zerg players that really thrives in chaos, and it is a bit harder to make chaos happen on a map this big. And I wonder if, in part, that's kind of what Spirit wants. He just wants to let this draw out, stay stable, let Rattata run into him like crazy, and just kind of, in his, do his own thing in the meanwhile. I think that's what Spirit's probably aiming for throughout the course of this TVZ. So let's find out. They did lose, Poland, to Team Peace in the group stages. I was genuinely surprised about that back then as well. As we get this underway, just going to be seeing a few links coming through, and that SCV on the natural already going to go down, so one SCV down, and the links showing up as there is a Reaper here to defend this, so that pull first is not going to end up doing too much. Obviously, pull first against CC first is a little bit rough, just because it's that kind of weird... what happens is that the CC is finished by the time the Lings get there, so in a way, this is actually a little bit of a build order advantage in the side of Spirit by having CC first, because there's just no way you can delay it all, so... Yeah, you get an SCV kill, but that's pretty much going to be it, and you lose 3 Lings in the process, and you've gone pool first. Spirit is absolutely okay with that. He doesn't mind that at all, and we'll see Rattata probably not be super happy with that so far, but not really much else you can do about it. Hellions producing right now, as we are going to go third CC in the base. For some reason, for a moment, I was like, is that 2 command centers? No, one of the starport just looked big for some reason. I don't know why. It just looked like it was... It just looked gigantic right there. I don't know. But yeah, we got a couple of... we got a CC and a starport coming through, so again, very macro-focused from Spirit, very much so. Again, a lot of just what we're expecting here for now. As we do see more Lings going across the map here from Rattata, so getting set up around to the top side. As those Lings get themselves going. Banshee on the way, Cloak on the way up as we continue through, and just going to be seeing our defensive setup coming in from Spirit, right? So just saying, well, if I get set up like this, there's not really much of a way you can break me down or anything, so should be kind of okay from there on out. And then like that kind of line of thinking, I think that's definitely one that can work quite nicely. Be safe, play the long game. You know you want to play the long game, right? Like, that is how you like playing. So play the long game, play your style, and just go from there. I think that makes a lot of sense. It's just going to be seeing these few queens coming through, and these Hellions going to have to be pulling away from those Lings, so they are going to get in for a bit of damage here. That one's in the main base getting cleaned up quickly. Just got to get the Hellions to the natural. There's only a couple Lings left in the main, and I don't think this is actually going to get much done. That one low HP mule is pretty much done anyways. And yeah, SCVs have to pull, but Spirit is going to deal with this, and that is going to be shut down. Some minor inconvenience from Spirit, but nothing really too gigantic. Not too much of a problem, nothing he couldn't deal with. And he is going to get through that without too many problems. Thankfully, I mean, it would be kind of bad if you had a lot of problems in a situation like that against just a few Lings, but yeah, the Hellions were there. He did obviously lose a Hellion as well, so that is worth keeping in mind, but this is Rattata giving up a lot of Lings to be able to do this. Comes in his second time now. This time the Hellions are completely across the map, and yeah, Spirit just says, no way. There's got to be a chance for me to deal damage here, right? Well, extra Lings show up, and it's only a few, but it's enough because he didn't know for sure what to do right away. So last second, he kind of decided, I'm going to go for this. I'm going to commit. But it took him a while to decide that. And because of that, he loses the Hellions without dealing damage. And he's taking damage at home. And Rattata is off to a fantastic start here. I mean, this is brutal now from Spirit. He's down a ton of workers. He's lost all of his map control. And Team Peace are going to be looking great for game number 1. I mean, there's nothing to stop these Lings for a little bit either. I mean, these Marines will eventually get here and start to shut them down, but really not ideal as the few Marines will stem up. Lings getting picked off then as they stuck around. Yeah, definitely a rough run from Spirit. I don't know what he's really going to try and do at this point. This is going to be difficult. His Banshees are being denied as well, so Rattata's defense is completely on point here for the moment, so not going to be able to find much love there. Banshees are going to go down this side, and now we'll have them finally getting in for some damage, finding a few drones. The boy just Spirit need quite a few drones to get back in this game. He is trailing heavily, and that is definitely a step in the right direction, but yeah, he needs more than just that. As 1-1 upgrade start from Rattata, not too far behind Spirit's own, and the Spire is completed, so Mutalisks are already on the way out. Going to be coming through here in the next few moments. That means that these Banshees are pretty much limited in how long they can stay on the map. Which means that, yeah, I mean, they get some creep here, but that's going to be one of their final acts for the most part. There's only so much they can really get done at this stage, so we'll see. Banshee's going to loop around the side. I mean, maybe they can pull the mutas back for a while, which is nice as well, even just kind of keeping the mutas busy for a little while longer. One extra shot on that Queen, gets transfused, doesn't matter. That is going to be the Queen kept alive there rather nicely, and the mutas do clean up, and they start to make their way out across to the upper right. Well, good amount of Marines here, and the turrets are going to be in-game in a second, so I don't think there's going to be a major issue to begin with. As we do see the mutas getting pushed back by the missile turret. Next mutas still coming through, the 1-1 upgrades are coming up. +1 flyer attack, Nuclearized Carapace, Balance Speed, all of that continuing in for now. The one opportunity I think Spirit has is, well, right now. If you can maybe find some good damage with this push here, overwhelm a little bit, I mean, that is absolutely going to be a chance for him at the very least. And right now I feel like Spirit's kind of happy just to have a chance, if nothing else. There's a lot of Balance Wolf in those, so it's definitely not a guarantee. It's definitely not just a given. Comes stemming on through, going to see a lot of creep going down. Overlord's going to get picked off. A ton of creep going down, in fact, as we do carve the way forward. We do have Lings and Banes running forward, all from one direction at least. If the tanks can get rid of the Banelings, which they do, the Lings don't do very well there. And okay, Spirit with a bit of a chance at least. The rest of the Banes were so far off. I saw a lot of Banes morphing not that long ago, right? So I was kind of like, there's always going to be enough Banelings, but they weren't all there at the front already. And Spirit just keeps pushing forward. I think he's fully committed here. I don't think we're going to see him starting up the 2-2 upgrades anytime soon, as he's just going to try and push this forward. The mutas are going to try and get around the back for the pick-off on reinforcing units, and they are going to do okay, but honestly, the units were not coming along like one at a time. It was at least in a little group. Let's see how we can do right now, as we got to be able to deal with these Banelings especially. Can the tanks fire on the Banelings? Oh, the Banes are doing horribly, rolling into tanks. Marine numbers are going to be good here. Spirit will go up the ramp and start working on Queens. Oh, he pulls back. The medevac's out of energy, and the Marines are low HP, so I think he's afraid to keep committing in. Oh, that was the moment, I think, for Spirit, though. New medevacs are moving across. He's getting extra. Oh, I love this. He pulls the hurt tank back, and he's going to let the healthy tank go and take that position in the front. What that means is it's going to be the hurt tank that can at least get a couple more shots off instead of just getting insta-killed when that moment comes around. Spirit knows he needs absolutely every little advantage he can take in this upcoming fight, and he is setting up to do just that. His reinforcements right now, I think, will deal with this counter-attack of Lings that were across the map. Yep, he's going to stim, and he has the numbers there to deal with that for the moment, so that is not that much of a problem. that is going to be handled. And Spirit is actually on his way back into this because all the mutas are dying over there as well. Spirit is turning this around. He's just had to lift up a lot of units, but he's got the TPS to out TPS the Banelings, and Rattata has to GG, and Poland are going to bring it back to take the 1-0 lead. Spirit, wow. I mean, he had a horrible start. He was completely all in on this attack. I mean, he's building a fourth, but there's no 2-2. He had to do mega damage here, and he gets it done. His teammate just pulled it back from an insane deficit to get to the 1-0 lead. The red Zerg from Team Liquid in the top right-hand corner. This is Elazer for Poland. And in the bottom left-hand side, this is our blue Protoss representing Team Peace. Can he bring it back, tie it up before the 2v2? SKillous. Well, guys, obviously that first game sets the scene a little bit. Hopefully the rest of the final games are just as exciting, back and forth, and epic. This tournament has delivered quite a few bangers, if I do say so myself. There's been some pretty great matches in this event, so yeah. Thanks for the support watching it and stuff. Hope you guys have been enjoying, and let's enjoy the rest of this grand final, of course. Let's Poland have that 1-0 lead. Catch gas pool. Nothing weird on the side of SKillous either. Gate Nexus, then the core. Pretty much everything we'd expect for the moment, so yeah, not really surprised just yet. It's going to be seen on hatch. Going to be finishing on that low ground. It was actually put out in the third place, which I don't really mention just because, obviously, I say nothing so weird, but yeah, it's not really weird, right? That's something which happens pretty much all the time nowadays. It's a pretty common affair, so that too is not really all that surprising. As the queens and the lings come in, that ling speed is going to get started as well. A few drones are continuing out also here. I'm just going to be seeing that probe going to come for a bit of a patrol out the front of the third base. As drones transfer down to the low ground. Link speed still coming up. Stargate on the side of SKillous. No surprises about that one. Oracle play is all the rampage in Europe especially. And it's definitely the way to be playing PvZ right now, it would seem. Triple Oracles extremely popular. And SKillous is very good with them triple Oracles as well. So it really does play into what he's good at. Plays into the meta. Plays into what we expect for the moment. Pantry drops down on that natural expansion. Elazer obviously fighting words before this event or before this finals, saying, I always think back of that one game against Innovation when I think of NationWars, and I think that would make him pretty darn determined to come into this and get a win. So when he thinks of NationWars, he can perhaps think of winning NationWars 7 instead of that horrible throw he had versus a throw, choke, whatever you want to call it, he had versus Innovation way back when, right? Oracle is going to finish. Wolfgate is still ticking along and just going to be seeing a Queen rallying out of the base. Obviously just waiting for these Oracles to come online and so on. That's where we are currently standing. Waiting for this game to really get established here. Queens are great on the defense, really making sure that first Oracle can't get in even for a second. Absolutely no allowance for nonsense there. Just shutting that down, pushing that back. Just not dealing with it, just no. No. You're not going to get any damage done at all. And you see Elazer on the attack, looking to see if there's a chance with his lings to maybe get that third. He's gathered them up. The Oracles are both across the map here. And we're going to make a dive for it. The Adept doesn't get surrounded. I feel like that was actually possible. That Adept was very in the open. The battery is going to go down quickly. The Oracles are pulled back, and Elazer knows that that's pretty much all he's going to get. So he just settles for it. He sees the oracles now. He's going to back away. Not going to go too crazy. Beyond that, very comfortable from Elazer, knowing what he's doing. And just going to say, yeah, step back, get out of here. No worries at all. Feelings coming through, and they're going to grab a probe. We do see SKillous going to switch it up massively. A Stargate and a Fleet Beacon. Wow, that really is a bit of a switch up. Not what we usually see nowadays on the matchup. So, making it a little bit different here for this PvZ. Triple Stargate Fleet Beacon going to go straight to the high end of tech here. Deadly if Elazer hits the timing. Deadly if Elazer can just find aggression that works against this. But that's the kind of gamble that SKillous plays right now. He's like, huh, I feel like I can get away with it. If you're not expecting it especially, right? Elazer needs to try and figure this out. He needs to get across here, try and figure out what's going on. He's going to get rid of this double gateway wall, at least depower it. And he sends a few lings in for a probe or two as well. I love what he's doing with these lings. The problem is none of this really helps you if you don't know what your opponent is doing. He needs to figure out it's triple Stargate now. You know, if he doesn't know what it is now, I mean, he's going into a Bane nest, he's going to mass units, but if he just can't deal with the number of units coming up, like, he needs to get a Spire ready, unless he just busts and shuts this down quickly, which is absolutely a possibility, but will it happen? We will be finding out very soon. Oracle's getting turned away here. Queen's making sure they are not going to be able to do all too much for the moment. Keeping them out of trouble. Yo, Air Orange, thank you so much for the £4 tip. I appreciate it, mates. As the carriers are produced, and then there's the scout immediately from Elazer. Great scout. Sees it straight away, cancels the Baneling Nest. He realizes, hey, this is not going to be a ground army, not for a while. So let's take a Spire, and let's maybe set up to do something about the fact he's rushing carriers. Yeah, Baneling Nest further down the line is probably going to be useful, but it's going to do nothing right now. You don't need it against the ground army. So if you don't need it against the ground army, don't try to make use of it, right? There's just no need. So he's just going to set up instead into the Spire and get the Baneling Nest again later. We'll see how aggressive Elazer wants to be. He's got 82 drones. He's taking extra gases. Let's see what he wants to try and do here. If it's going to be some kind of attack across the map, or if he's just going to settle down for some Corruptors and then just continue to macro. It looks like he's going to keep expanding and play into the late game. Happy to play against this, as we do see now Charging +1 coming up. So again, it's not all out in the sky from SKillous, and there will have to be some amount of ground and a commitment here from Elazer as well. That part is going to be important, having something to fight against the Zealots and everything. Otherwise, you will end up in a bunch of trouble, right? So definitely a reason to be wary. Spoke all of that, pushing the oracles back. Things going around, just going to be seeing our oracles doing a very good job of keeping track of that right now. So just keeping that going, keeping an eye on things. Carrier count obviously just stuck at 3 because we saw building Void Rays, prepping for everything else, of course. So getting that ready to go. That Flux Veins continuing on through. Just going to be seeing our +1 attack charge. Both going to start chrono boosting out right now, and getting that ready as Lings pick their way through this set of rocks over here. Just opening up portions of the map. Corruptor count getting pretty darn high. And again, this is the sort of stage of the game where Zealots are meant to start kind of running around a little bit as well, right? So if you kind of start to expect Zealots to run around a little bit, oh, he gets both the Oracles. It's actually a pretty huge catch. You love to have those oracles for the revelations, keeping track of what's going on, knowing what's happening. Losing out on those is actually a pretty big deal. So yeah, nice catch on those oracles. That's something you probably do rebuild here at some point as SKillous to keep the information flowing your way. A couple of voids on the top side. Characters on the top side get caught by the voids as they were heading into the main to see what they can do. Obviously a bit of a scout through this base as well as we just check on by. I'm going to start launching those Corruptors at that Nexus, and that's just going to be a Nexus kill. Then we're going to have to pull back home, though, Super Battery going to try and keep the Nexus on the natural alive. That's not going to happen. He has to go home, though, because this army's going to get here already. He has to take this fight, right? I mean, he's just killed 2 bases. All he has to do now as Elazer is defend. The Queens do not want to fight on their own accord. They want the support of those freaking Corruptors. And here are the Corruptors, but they don't want to fight with the with the Archons underneath. So now you kind of need the ground army to help as well. We are just going to stand here. Some Corrosive Bowels zoning this back. Drones going down as the Zealots in the natural expansion. There's the Void Rays activating already. The Corruptors trying to fight from afar, trying not to take the damage off those Voids. You want to keep enough Corruptors alive. You can kill the carriers off at the end of this. Elazer has a lot of money to be spending. Does he have the lava to spend it? Yes, he does. So he needs to make sure he does spend that cash, and it's a lot of roaches on the way. I think right now SKillous realizing it's not time to stick around over here. But he didn't... I mean, he killed 20 drones, which is nice, but he lost 2 bases, remember? And he didn't rebuild either of them still. So his income is in the trash right now. It's in the bin. He is not in a good place in that regard, that is for sure. Moving down the bottom, just going to be seeing our Corruptors moving down over here as well. Again, another base held on the bottom side. As we are going to see our Voids, Archons, Carriers coming through once again, going in after these Queens. In they go. I don't know, man. It doesn't feel good, does it, for Skillous? Although, oh my god, the Archon splash on the Corruptors is huge! Okay, I mean, the Carriers are gone. The Queens are going to be able to deal with the Voids, and it's just a question of getting rid of the Archons. The Corruptors can still be useful as well, right? I think at the end of the day, because what the Corruptors can still do is they can still just run around. They can get across the map, and they can just caustic spray down bases. Skillous is on 1 base. He's rebuilding the natural, so he'll go back to 2. And I love that Elazer gets the greatest spy, because it's just a way to use the Corruptors, right? The Corruptors could absolutely end up as dead weight here in the end, but with the greatest spy, they can almost always just become Broodlords, and then that's another use for them. Skillous is attacking, and he knows he's got a nigh on win the game right here, but he cannot. And Elazer shuts it down easily. 2-0 lead for Poland. 2v2 up next, and they've looked great in the 2v2. I think we've got a very confident Poland on our hands, and these first matches are really, really going their way. I mean, that's just 2-0 lead. Obviously. In the top right side of the map, it is going to be the team that needs to get a win on the board. Otherwise, they're going to be facing a very difficult comeback in this series. It is Team Peace with Rattata and SKillous. Bottom left corner of heavy artillery will be the red and orange Team Poland, leading 2-0. Spirit and Elazer. Well, guys, some 2v2. Spirit and Elazer have been very good at this 2v2 a lot of the time, so let's see if they can do it one more time here. And pull it out once more. Take a 3-0 lead. Again, I mean, like I said, SKillous and Rattata, they don't get this far in this event without being good in 2v2. Like, that's just a fact, you know? That is just a fact, so... see what the build's looking to turn out to be right now. Both the Zergs will at least just take their expansion to begin with here, so gonna be pretty regular in that regard at least. Nothing too weird from that just yet. In these first few moments at least. little bit of a peaceful start. Let's just get set up here in the early stages. Get this underway, get this set up. So we have our Stargate on the way through, and there is going to be a couple Hellions coming out. Everyone is expanding then, so everyone will expand initially. Usually what Spirit does is he feeds gas to a Elazer, so that whatever a Elazer wants to do is going to be very gas heavy. And then basically he just builds Hellions, and then Blue Flame, and obviously then Hellion's going to be a very good, useful unit for the most part anyways, right? So that's a lot of the Team Poland kind of plan. We will see if Rattata and SKillous want to play aggressive. I mean, that Bane Nest coming online quickly from Rattata, but is that just for safety? It might very well be. And if it is, I mean, the Elaser's dropping a Roach-Ron. He's not even taking gases yet, so I don't think that they are really planning to be aggressive at all for the moment. Let's say single Marine here goes chipping through this Overlord. So yeah, no gas at all from Elazer. I do wonder if that's going to change at some point. Excuse me, sorry. And now Elazer's just going to mass roaches. Okay. So they're now starting to make a lot of roaches because Spirit sent him the gas, right? So sent him all of that gas over. And that means he can spam a lot of roaches all at once. And now Spirit's going to start making a tank. It's just mass Phoenix from SKillous. So Rattata's feeding all of the money into SKillous, going masses of Phoenix. Can the Phoenix defend against these roaches? Is there going to be enough lifts? Because that's a lot of roaches very early in the game. Oracle doing okay here, but is going to get locked onto, is going to be killed. Now we start Void Rays because we've seen the roaches as we move across the map. Elazer is going to continue to commit as we see another Overlord here. Oh, sorry, that's Elazer's Overlord. It's like, that's going to be killed. He was moving towards it. Ah, there's an Overlord of Rattata there as well. Sorry, I missed that one. So that is what the Cyclone went for. There's just going to be seeing our roaches showing up. How much damage can we do here? Spirit and Elazer committing in. I mean, Elazer has a huge economy behind this, by the way. He's been droning massively because, again, he had so many minerals based on everything else that was happening. They had to get rid of a Phoenix there with a few Marines in the Cyclone from behind. The Banelin's trying to reach these Marines. They split up. Spirit doing okay on the splits, but this is going to be a defense, I believe, from Team Peace, and I don't think that we're going to have a success story here from Poland. Worker-wise, they're in a great position, though. I mean, they are way up in economy. But they're going to be down a lot of air units now. I mean, this Void Ray count is getting kind of scary, no? So that's definitely becoming a problem. Units over there just going to turn the feelings away as we are going to get a base in the back here from SKillous. He's going to go up to his third already. Rattata still just on two. Here come the Void Rays, and actually going to be in range to get that Cyclone. That's massive. The Queen surrounded by Lings, and the defense here might just be going all wrong from Elazer and Spirit. Marine showing up, though, and I think we might actually just about hold off these Void Rays, but that was a close, scary moment. That was not looking pretty. That really wasn't looking ideal at all. Against him, continuing through. Cyclone coming up. Marines. Everything from Spirit as he continues to get going. I mean, the economy from Elazer is just astounding. Rattata on only 40 drones. And that, I think, might be the problem, that eventually they just get out-ecoed based on everything else that's going on, no? I really feel like that could be the case. Because the economy of Elazer is just out of this world in comparison. It doesn't matter that you're feeding SKillous up into carriers and stuff if you just get completely overrun, right? At least I wouldn't think it does. Suppose we shall see. Void Rays looking for some damage. I mean, again, holding off this Air Force is becoming the big issue. I mean, that is kind of the plan from Rattata and SKillous. Get SKillous to a massive air army. Elazer's rushing Hive. They need to realize, I think, that there's carriers on the way, and that this is not just like a part-time commitment to this Air Force, because yeah, they really need like a proper response to it. I guess to some extent Marines can do that for a while, but gotta be a little careful at least, surely, as Marines coming in. Cyclone gets a lock on. Void Ray is gonna begin getting chased away. Getting pushed out of here. I'm just going to be seeing that Voidra is actually going to end up recalling home. It's a ton of roaches on the counterattack from Elazer again. That's why this economy is starting to come through. But again, what are you going to be able to do? Well, he will kill the third base of Rattata. I don't think you can keep that alive, even with the carriers and the Void Rays showing up. So you're going to knock Rattata down to 3 bases. They're going to come down the right side and just see, okay, you do not have a base down here either, so you're only on 5 bases in total. Well, we're on 5 bases, and Spirit's moving now to make it 6. And I'm actually trying to take a goal to make it 7. We just need an answer to Void Ray carrier. And now you know about it as well, so you have information about the army that is ahead of you. You know exactly what you're playing against. In theory, I think this should be ideal for Spirit and Elazer, because they know what they need to fight against now. They know the biggest threat on the map right now is straight up just a chunk of freaking air units. What will they do about it? Some Vipers on the way initially. I think that's a good start. Vipers very useful. A lot of utility on those, especially against the air armies. But we just need to, in my eyes, I think we're still just missing something that's going to be that little bit kind of sturdier against this air force. Like the Corruptors or Vikings. It just doesn't exist right now. We're making a Hydra Den. Hydras aren't going to do it. We're making a Ghost Academy. EMPs are nice, don't get me wrong. EMPs are great. But is it enough to fight the entire army off? Now that I'm just not really sure about still. One thing jumping onto that hatch over there, so we're going to cancel up. And drop a hatchery down on the gold base. Viper's getting that energy up, taking them energy from the health off the main base to do so. You can see extra hatchery still coming online. The roaches are back across the map, by the way, so they're going to get in, and they're going to deal even further damage than what was already being done. So they're going to cancel another base here. It might cost you a few roaches, but now you might be able to just rebuild into other stuff. That's going to be more useful supply-wise anyway, so I'm not sure how much Elazer is going to be upset about that, in all honesty. This Roach Ravager army from Rattata, it's just not really comparable in size. And Spirit's got a drop in Skillous' base, so he's going to shut down the production of the air units. This attack might just be all in. But what the hell's going to kill the carriers? Can someone tell me what's going to kill the carriers? You can't tell me that Vipers are going to kill these carriers. I don't think they realized how serious an issue this was. We are going to have Marines trying to target fire carriers down. 1 goes down, 2. We are going to get number 3. There's Queens here as well. They're off creep, though, so there's no transfusions. Utter chaos on the screen as the roaches of Rattata are just dying because, well, let's face it, he had way less numbers because he's had way less economy this entire time. So Rattata is gone in comparison to Elazer. It's just these carriers. I don't think it's going to be enough. We've got extra Marines coming out to support, and that should just do this. I think that's just going to get this done. That should just be enough, no? Marines have killed the back base of Skillous as well. And the Elazer is going to come back over this side with the roaches too. It's just this air army! Can we kill it with something, anything, please? I mean, we've got a lot more Marines coming out as well. Hydra's trying to gather together. They just need something to come through all at once. I mean, so much supply, but lots of it just doesn't count for anything right now. The Hydras are fighting on their own. The Marines probably need to take part in this fight. Parasitic Bomb came down. Another one is mixed in there. Splash damage helping out a lot. We're target firing down carriers, which is a massive part of this. Get rid of the carriers, get rid of interceptors, and the rest of this might be manageable as the Hydras are getting rid of the interceptors too. There's just not enough interceptors, not enough firepower, and it means that Spirit and the Elazer are pushing back the army of Skillous, and the chances of team peace in this series keep on dipping as Poland are looking to get the hold to take this to a 3-0 lead because there's so little economy back at home for team peace, because that is what they've been up to behind this. Remember, that drop from Spirit, the roaches of Elazer have been causing chaos over here, killing bases, killing workers, and there's only 45 drones and 27 probes on the top right of the map versus 66 and 61. It's these carriers are die trying, and I feel like it might be die trying time very soon as Widowmine, please don't friendly fire onto the Hydras. Marine's going to come stimming through, though. I just don't think there's enough to really make this work. They're going to go after yet another carrier, and it's so expensive to replace these at this point. There's Vikings as well, able to chase and get kills also. And now we force a recall, but one more carrier goes down, and it feels as though this game is now completely out of hand. Spirit and Elazer are storming through. There is a Rattata army that's starting to look a bit scarier. There's more and more roaches and ravagers coming out from him. Will it be enough? That's a very good question. I don't think so, because I think the army is just way better than from Spirit and Elazer. It should easily be able to deal with a Roach Ravager force. I don't think that should be a problem in the slightest. Here we go. Skillous and Rattata moving through the center with, I want to say, last-ditched army. It's about to tick over to 2-2 upgrades, by the way, on the Marines. They are going to shred things. Nice abduct on a Void Ray. Now we get a carrier as well. Freebie. Pick off, essentially. Nice abducting. I'm going to maybe deny the gold of a laser over here, but I just don't know how much that matters. These Marines, well, they do eat a few corrosive piles. That's maybe not ideal. You've got tank fire to cover against the Roach Ravager. It's just not doing enough. Those are 2-2 Marines against 1-1 Roach Ravager, which is just not enough. Marines keep on stimming through. The abducts just allowing the carriers to get picked off. Target fired by Marines one after the other. Those highly expensive units are just continuing to fall. Skillous only has 50 supply remaining. Poland are looking really strong here in this tournament. GG's. Rattata and Skillous. And Poland are on a 3-0 lead. Wow. They are dominating. Absolutely, utterly dominating as Poland take a 3-0 lead in this best of 7-1 match. As on the bottom right-hand side, it is time for what could be the last game of Nation Wars 7. Our grand finals might come to a close right here. Is in the bottom right corner, the blue Zerg is Rattata. And the top left, our red Zerg, Elazer looking for a final win. Yo, a couple shoutouts very quickly as the game gets going. Nurul10, thank you so much for the 6-month resub. And Mightiest Chicken gifted a sub to Double D22. Thank you so much for the generosity. Thank you so much for supporting. Really appreciate it as always. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Get this ready to go. And see whether we can have a W on the board for Poland at the end of this, or whether this is going to be finally a time for peace to stand up and to start mounting a comeback. I wouldn't say it's impossible if you win this, at least. If you win this, then you go up against, you have Skillous taking on Spirit. I feel like that's doable at least, right? So, yeah, I know. I feel like that's very possible. And then you go 2v2, not impossible. And then it's an ace match. Anything can happen in a best of one ace match, right? Robot Bounty, thank you so much. 30-month resub on the Prime. This game already, Rattata opening with the pool first. So, pool first, not like super early work account, not like a 12 pool. We'll be trying to get some damage done, though. I mean, grabbing a queen early or a couple of drones can be fantastic in this situation. He needs something, because otherwise he is just playing from behind here at the moment. So, definitely looking for at least a little bit of something for the moment. Starlings start to make their way out across to the other side of the map. Well, the feelings are about to be arriving in just a few moments, so they're going to be walking into that natural here momentarily. Feelings running up and towards the main. And we'll hold position here with the Lings that just hold that kind of choke point at least, and you're just buying time for a queen here. Try and minimize the damage. I don't think there's enough HP on those Lings to get the kill there. And the Lings are going to get pushed out of here, taken away for the moment, nice and easily. Queen's just going to go attacking that Overlord off on that left-hand side. It's just going to push that away over to the left initially as well, and work our way through that. And so far, I'd say still good for Elazer, because it was kind of on him to survive this initially, right? So I kind of needed to survive it first as we just have a drone coming across, going to drop a hatchery onto the third location. Roach Drone going to get started in the front as well, so there's a couple of queens going to join up together. And join at the front, and just going to go straight into Roach Roar and Evo Chamber. But there is Ling speed, so we're making Lings as well. I think Rattata is trying to fake out a little bit, maybe. And if not fake out, then he has got Carapace on the way, so he's looking to play just Lings in general here for a while, or at least Ling Roach, I suppose. It's obviously something that happens a lot on the back end of a Carapace upgrade, so yeah, Ling Roach definitely on the horizon here, perhaps. Just have that Evo Chamber closing in on wrapping up. Extra drones coming through, plenty of Lings from Rattata. He really just wants to catch Elazer off guard with this. Elazer's going for his own kind of carapace upgrade just a bit later on. Oh my god, he's going to see it. He's going to see it ASAP at least. So at least he sees it right now. What can he do about it? Well, he has to wall at the front. He cancels the third hatchery. He pulls back to the natural. This is all about defending now. This is no longer about trying to be cool or taking bases. No, this is about getting a defense up and running. As that defense is going to be hard, well, with this wall. High time for your extra lings to spawn, basically, is what you're looking for. Love the ling counterattack, though. Going to get a queen. It's already a great start. These lings are going to break through in a moment. The queens have had some good time to deal some damage here. Pull back. Lings actually getting surrounded on the ramp, and the queen's not part of that fight is a problem. Extra lings are going to start getting in. So on a bit of a time here. If we can get the third hatchery cancel as well at the same time across the map, that would be amazing for Elazer, who can afford to lose a handful of drones because he has a worker lead. So a few drones going down here, not the end of the world, and now this fight looks okay. He's going to have the queens able to join the fight. The lings protect the queens as well. I don't think Rattata gets enough out of this, all said and done, because now he's going to start losing lings very quickly. Can he actually get out with some of them? He's bringing more across the map. He did have to cancel and restart his hatchery, by the way. No, not just that. It was killed. No cancel. Elazer probably has to cancel here, but he does have the lings to try and threaten the lings of his opponent. Yep, just cancels there, but gets him a few free shots off on the lings at least. Loses the drone, maybe just a little too quick in getting out over there. Elazer has a second Evo Chambers. He says, let's make use of it. This is going to be lings for a while. I'm going to start making melee upgrades. But Rattata's making roaches already. He's not droned at all. And if Elazer doesn't know that, he could be in trouble. But he's about to spot the roaches. Here with this one circling, he sees the roaches, so now he knows roach production is underway. And he knows when his overlord's finished and he gets out of what is a bit of a mega supply block, he will have to start making extra units because those roaches are definitely going to scare him at least a little bit. Starts making roaches of his own. Has the counterattack and then go onto this hatch. Not enough lings for him here, but that's okay because he's keeping the other lings back on this side of the map. He's delaying this fight. He's buying himself time. He is going to be down a hatchery, but he's going to be up in melee upgrading. He's going to be up a little bit in the drone count as well. Especially if this attack doesn't work out, then you're going to end up in trouble. Some lings already getting a jump start on this. One Ravager will go down to begin with. Great start from Elazer again as he looks to keep on holding, trying to send his team, his country, to a victory in NationWars. He was so close to doing it in NationWars 4 against Korea. He lost the final match with a build order win against Innovation, but can he hold right now to do it here in NationWars 7? Roaches fighting, trying to take these lings down. They can't really afford to fight without lings of their own usually because they're meant to be having a buffer, but they don't have that buffer right now. As we continue to move through, we are still trading okay. Elazer making lings behind this because he will have the melee upgrade to help himself out soon. He's still keeping his lings of his opponent busy, which is great. And now he's getting lings to support his own roaches, and that is massive. These few Ravagers and roaches are starting to go down just before the lings get here from Rattata. Will Rattata be able to get back with the lings here now? He's got one Ravager still. Elazer dodges the bow. The lings are not enough, and Elazer has the numbers coming through. He kills off the last Ravager, and Rattata will be chased away. Yes, a hatchery in his favor, but not for long. Elazer did start one up on the left side of the map during this, and that hatchery is about to be online. A third base accessible here for Elazer. Not that far behind. Currently trailing on drones, but boy, does he have an advantage on the ling count now, because now he's got lings and he's got the melee upgrade, so his lings are trading better in ling versus ling wars. He doesn't want to fight through there just yet, though, as he's actually still making more units. I think Elazer's just going to send it. Oh, and Rattata's droning as well, so Elazer's about to go fighting, and Rattata's building missile upgrades, he's building drones, he's doing all of the things, which he's just not really meant to be doing right now. Elazer doesn't go yet, he waits for more Ravagers. He's going to go Overlord hunting here initially, but he is still building units. He is 100% committed to this upcoming attack, and it's going to be all on Rattata for the defense. Another structure that will do nothing for him. The lair starts up. That is also not going to aid him here. Nor will actually losing these Overlords, right? Because that's going to be supply blocks, lack of information. These lings getting in. Surely we'll see some lings spawning, and now Rattata can know it is time to get going with some units. Is it too late, though? Cancels the lair. Starting to build spine crawlers of his own. Elazer starts the lair as we get some lings into the natural. That's big. He's going to get a queen and a few drones here. So already finding some damage, if nothing else. Finds a roach too. A lot of lings at the front. Remember, those lings are powerful because they are going to have that melee upgrade. And actually, just no lings here from Rattata means his roaches don't have that protection we were talking about. The same thing on the other side of the map. Here we are for Elazer. Those roaches are stuck in a corner as well. If they eat biles, they could not really dodge them, I don't think. They can't go anywhere. They stack up further. The biles connect, and Elazer is going to hammer through the natural expansion. Roach Ravager Ling continues on in, and it's just going to be too much, I think. Corrosive biles are going to cancel a roach in production as as well. Does Elazer have enough? Roach Ravager trying to keep on holding. He's got Roaches and Lings in the background still. He's making more Lings, and he does have the lair transition coming through behind this. He's equal on drones now as well, and he's killing Roaches one by one. He might even get the Evo Chamber, cancel the missiles from Rattata. Not sure how important that would be, though, because I think this game and this tournament might end right now as Elazer gets it done, gets the 4-0. GG's. Elazer gets the victory here in NationWars 7.
En train de prendre la flotte dans tous les sens du côté de Team Peace. Je vois un début de sourire du côté des lasers qui croit ses faits. La Pologne est championne.
Yes, Elazer.
Quelle performance.
The 1 minute delayed reaction, guys.
Bien évidemment, roi de ces NationWars, aux côtés bien sûr de son teammate Spirit, lui est resté en poste.
GG's. I was actually, yeah. I'm actually so hyped for Elazer. Like, honestly, like, I was kind of for Team Poland, and you know why? Because I feel like Elazer's saying, like, he thinks of NationWars and he thinks of that game he threw against Innovation. Yeah, I think that is kind of a, I think that's actually a really good, like, to me, that, like, motivated me to be behind Team Poland, like, to get it done. That's a cool story. That's a cool story. GG's, man. GG's. Honestly, cool games. Like, I mean, I know it was a 4-0, but the games were pretty darn cool. I mean, come back in the first game, Elazer played great game 2, came back in game 4. The 2v2 was very well executed, very close as well, that killed against the carriers. I feel like some of the scorelines today definitely don't represent the way that it went, so yeah, GG's, man. Alright, we got Elazer coming in. I'll show you guys the main stream again.
La Pologne est championne NationWars 7. Elazer, you did it! Let's go! So happy for you, man.
Spirit's just like, hi, guys.
Et bien sûr, on est rejoint en live par Piotr. Spirit.
Do they hear me?
Let's go there. This has been really rehearsed, as you know. We know everything that's going on here. Okay. Elazer, I'm not gonna ask any questions. Just tell me what, like, going through your mind right now. You wanted to win. You were the one that wanted it the most, and you did it without dropping a single map. Like, what the fuck, man?
Well, yeah, what can I say? I mean, if I really want something, there's also like this. Yeah, if I really want something, sometimes like I work a bit harder for it.
Yeah.
I'm kind of slacking recently, but for this tournament, we like really practiced. And yeah, we got it.
Yeah. And it showed. Yogo, you want to say something?
Oh, yeah. Like I'm so happy I won it with him because like I know him since so many years. I mean, we're playing since we're like 14 years old, you know?
That's
It's
so
like,
sick.
Since like 10 years I know him. So yeah, it's fucking incredible.
That's so sick. Pour Piotr. You mentioned earlier that when we released the format, you were like, oh shit,
Yeah.
2v2, that sucks. Like, what do you think now? Like, you won so easily with 2v2.
Oh yeah, like it was so much fun actually. It was. Because preparing for 1v1 is boring. We always do it.
Yeah, you always do it.
But there was so much passion for the 2v2, you know. I was like looking up the strategies, what can we do? And there's so much stuff we can discover there, you know. Did you like the 10 road pressure with no gas?
That was so. They did. What? 10 road pressure with? Oh yeah. You shared like crazy in the 2v2.
I had like
yeah,
no extractor.
Yeah.
The guy gives me 300 gas, let's go.
That's so sick. That's so sick. It's like Zerg without making any drones. Like.
Yeah, I had insane economy. It was so much fun. So we're going all in, and after the all in, I'm like 66 drones. Let's go.
Imagine if
That was
you
actually
could
pretty
do
sick
it
build.
in 1v1. That'd be crazy.
Yeah, well.
That'd be crazy. Do you think like anybody would pick up that kind of format? Do you think 2v2 can work like as a general thing, or?
I mean,
Or is it just because NationWars TV?
it worked out here, I think, for me at least.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I think it's fun. Just it's a bit imbalanced, you know. Like Zerg really sucks in this matchup.
Yeah.
Oh,
And yet you're
obviously, like
fucking
in 1v1, come on.
not dropping a map. But you're the professional player. I can believe
Yeah,
you.
but
You know?
it's just me. You know?
It's just you. You're a different kind, a different breed. Le mec est un king. Qu'est-ce que vous voulez qu'on dise? Yogo, t'as un truc à demander?
No, it's just incredible because after National 4, you were like that close, and now like 4 or 5 years after, you managed to took a revenge. So
Yeah,
looking.
we mentioned NationWars 4, but I mean, you've been part of like Team Poland every single season, right? Like.
Well, since I got decent, yeah.
yeah. But I mean, like, yeah, after NationWars 4, every season
Yeah,
you
I
actually
miss,
prepared and tried.
Yeah, it was a bit sad because it's really fun to play Nation Wars because like it's not a one-man army.
Yeah.
If we can actually compete with Finland, we beat several, right?
Yeah.
But Poland has even deeper player pool, you know. Like
Yeah, for sure.
we have even more good players that, but we only could compete with 2.
Mm.
But it's still very good for us. So
Yeah.
I wish like there was next Nation Wars maybe you come back to 3 players.
Yeah, we'll let you know. I don't know if we can have that many teams if we do 3 players, but we can think about it. Also, there's a budget issue,
but still, and maybe have 3v3 then.
imagine like 3v3 would be so fucked. Like, you would have 100 drones and 25 mutalisks. Like minute 2.
2 people feeding.
2
one guy.
people, 2 people only feeding you. That's so sick. I'm really happy for you, honestly. Like for real, like we could have had like that same interview in NationWars 4, and we didn't. And we'll stop talking about it. But really happy, and I think everybody here is really happy to see Team Poland winning the tournament. I think last few words for maybe a little bit for the audience because they've been quite amazing, if I may say, and maybe something, you know, in Polish for Polish fans, or like if you want to make like a love declaration to Spirit or something.
Nah, I think you guys are crazy. Like there's so many of you. I have not been in a StarCraft event like this. Like even Valencia was less people.
Yeah, of course.
Like, what's happening?
Yeah. As you can see, it's not only about the people, but also about the noise, you know?
Yeah, it maybe not about the number of people, but they make more noise, right? Or they were like,
Oh yeah.
they
There's
do
more noise.
way more. More people,
noise, more
more
people,
noise.
more noise. It's like quadruple, you know.
Vous l'avez entendu, vous êtes meilleur que Valencia de manière assez évidente, hein, voilà.
Let's go!
I realized we didn't speak to Spirit at all, but that once again, like I can't see the screen. The guy is here. He's probably super happy at the moment. No, he's not here anymore because I can't see. Yeah, he's here. Okay, Spirit, I'm sorry. He took the spotlight because, you know, he's a likable guy, but you're also a freaking champion of NationWars 7. Like, massive congratulations to you. I'm really happy to see you do that. Just talk to me what's going through your mind. Is Miko the best teammate there could ever be?
I think I'm very happy that I could play with Miko. I think we are a very good team. And I'm really sad that I can't be there with you guys. Like, really. What happens?
And let's not make it the longest interview of all time. So maybe last words for the fans, like Polish fans. You want to say anything? Maybe to the Polish like esports scene in general, because you guys are like, you know, everywhere and you do well. You're doing really great right now for StarCraft 2. Is there anything you want to say?
Yeah, we have really passionate scene actually right now.
Yeah,
we
you
have,
do.
We have like you have underdogs.
Yeah.
Right now we have the Polish like LAN events and stuff like that. So
Netwars.pl.
yeah,
Is it still a
in it.
thing?
Yeah, it's still a thing. So yeah, chciałbym wam wszystkim bardzo podziękować za wspieranie nas. W końcu udało nam się wygrać Nation Warsa i na pewno postaramy wygrać ten turniej jeszcze raz.
Let's go!
Voilà, évidemment.
Once again, great performance, man. Just don't forget the trophy. It's pretty amazing. And you've earned it.
This one goes to Soul actually, to Spirit.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
Yeah, I should take it.
En tout cas, voilà.